Hello everyone, how are you this evening? Welcome to another Gorms show. I'm your host, Gormy. Coming up this evening, we've got some more mince banter for you and some more music. That's my favourite part, all the tunes. Before we get to that though, I want to tell you a wee joke. A man goes to a fancy dress party. He's dressed in a green tracksuit and he's got his girlfriend on his back. And at the party, the doorman stops him and says, "Sorry sir, you can't come in. You're not in fancy dress." And he says, "Aye, I am so. I'm a tortoise and this is Michelle." Oh, I like that one. Well, I'm gonna pass you over to the Gorms now. I'll see you later. Bye!
Go, boys, heave her head around to the weather. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homewards to Mandolin. What do we care, white dimensions? What care we, boys, the wind and weather, when we know that every inch is closer homewards to Mandolin. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, heave her head around to the weather. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homewards to Mandolin. Wives are watching from the pier head, gazing seawards from the heather. Heel the head round and we'll anchor ere the sun sets on Mandolin. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, heave her head around to the weather. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homewards to Mandolin. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, heave her head around to the weather. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homewards to Mandolin. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, heave her head around to the weather. Hee-oh-yah-ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homewards to Mandolin.
We're live.
Sexy beast.
We're live.
Hello. How are we all this evening?
Fantastic.
Good to see you all. How are you?
How's your week been?
Pretty good. I've had Mick Hucknall back in the studio.
Oh, wow.
Great.
He wasn't actually happy with the mix I did last time.
It's a bit too blue.
Yeah, he just said the sound quality wasn't what he expected, so I had to redo it with him. He's very particular about these things.
Did he bring any fancy ladies around? He is known, some say he's one of the dirtiest players in the game.
Is that right?
He is, but when it comes to, his music, he's pretty serious. You know, he doesn't really mess around. So he knows that there's a time and a place for that kind of thing.
He knows how money works. Maybe you should write a song about that someday. Duncan, my brother.
Yes,
You're up in the,
you're looking well wrapped up there. Are you chilly?
I'm freezing, absolutely
freezing.
freezing, as always.
Is the heat enough? The heat enough?
The heating is thoroughly off. I didn't want to kill myself with carbon monoxide.
Okay.
I'm up in Clackaghben this evening. Pitched the tent tonight, but really, really good signal. I think I'm picking up Durrus Mast not too far away. So hopefully it stays on. There has been a bit of activity in the skies recently, so we'll have a chat about that on the jam-packed show we've got for you this evening. If you just joined us the first time, I'm your Friday Night Messiah, Stewart Cook, frontman extraordinaire of one of the most famous bands in the most northeast of the northeast of Scotland, a band called the Gorms, currently on extended hiatus due to biological catastrophe. Instead, we'll be broadcasting to you from various locations this evening. Below me, I think, no, he's above me, actually.
To your right
is my brother Duncan.
Yes, I'm more than just a wee bit above you though. I'm away up in the sky. I heard that the coronavirus is quite heavy, so I thought if I got up a wee bit higher, I wouldn't need to get vaccinated.
Okay. Well, Duncan, that's good to hear from you up there in the clouds. Don't worry about that information there, folks. Duncan's
completely irrelevant.
Yeah, the altitude's getting to him there.
Duncan's views are his own.
And Jack, you're in the Arctic studio, of course, from Hucknall. Jack, you're the VJ, video jammer,
video jockey,
VJ.
So, as always, as has been the way recently, you'll be in charge of the great tracks that we got lined up this evening for audience. And Jack, what kind of stuff are you going to be playing for us tonight? Any tips on the bands that might be coming on the stream this evening?
Well, all the music tonight is going to be of the same genre. We're keeping it's a theme, so tonight it'll be Scottish folk music, or more loosely Celtic folk music.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much all of it, I would say 100% of it will be by a band called the Gorms.
Oh, that's brilliant. They're my favourite. Do you like them, Steve?
Great. I do. Gormy likes them as well.
Oh, Gormy's a massive fan.
Does everyone like Gormy? Or should we stop doing that?
No, don't stop that. It's the best part. No. Normally, I would only tune in for that. You know, this long you've gone too far. So, Jack, I know you're holding a clipboard. I often see you around building sites and red light districts with a clipboard. What's on your clipboard today, Jack?
Well, I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to Andrew Fredericks, who bought all of our albums today.
Oh, amazing.
Has tripled our sales.
Heavy listening there.
And so my camera's all gone weird again, but anyway. And then I'd like to thank Adele Hamilton, who sent us £27.48 a few days ago. And she says, saw you a few summers back in Edinburgh. Can't wait to see you again. Smiley face. So thanks for that.
That means a lot.
Adele and Michelle Hamilton as well bought our new album.
Well, don't let your boyfriend carry you around. As we know, that's a surefire way for hilarity to ensue.
Indeed.
That's great, Michelle. Thank you very much. And I hope you weren't offended by Gormy's material there. Next, he'll be telling you how to get vaccinated and how to avoid coronavirus.
And then I'd also like to say later on, there's some photos that are going to be in our slideshow when we have some tunes by Carrie Humber. Carrie Humber sent us these photos. So if anyone else has got any photos of us or any videos, you can send it to our Gorms email address at thegorms@gmail.com. And finally, Jill Cornwell, who watches us on YouTube, she doesn't watch us on Facebook Live, She sent us money a few times, so I thought I would mention her. So hello, Jill.
Hello, and
Thank
thanks,
you very
Jill.
much. for
And
the support,
finally,
Jill.
everyone who's watching this video, can you press the like button, please? Because it helps with the engagement. You see.
I actually thought
Is
I
that
did
the
think-
analytics stuff again?
It is. I'm
couldn't
one of
give
these
you that.
boffins who's into analytics and stuff.
it's normally analytics on the clipboard, right?
Well, yeah,
Yes.
at least you can pretend it is because
I was
nobody
just
else can
reading
see.
loads of ones and zeros there.
Ah, it's a binary page.
Makes no sense to me, but I believe you. Duncan, from your
Well,
from your
let's-
position up there in the sky,
Yes,
you're looking down.
it's a lovely view.
That's fantastic. And can you see any sort of smoke signals, any messages coming up from the prolific base of listeners we have this evening?
Smoke signals, yeah. We've got a few folk in watching us, some regulars. Jeroen's watching from the island.
Hello,
There's one-
Jeroen. How you
Ken's
doing?
here. Greetings from
Ken,
California.
hello, Ken.
Fellow Gormophiles. Has everyone
that?
had a fine week? That's Ken.
Gormophiles.
Gormophiles. Well, we're Gormophiles. We've got
Gormlings.
Gormkins. We've got all sorts
Gorminati.
of Gorm-related things, but I'm
Gormiti?
getting ahead of myself. Gormiti, yeah. Who Matilda's here. She's actually here with me.
Chris Riley just sent us £10. Thanks, Chris. Much appreciated.
Cheers, Chris.
Chris, slan you out.
And another Chris is watching. He says, "Aye, spiffing, or spliffing." I'm sure he meant spiffing.
Is that the guy that sends us 420 every week?
That is that guy. That is that
I
guy.
appreciate it. Appreciate that.
Trisha D. Hall Newlands here. Hello, fellow Gormkin. Bob
Hello.
and Trisha D. here on one of our last Friday nights in Ukraine. Well, enjoy tonight then.
I wonder where they're going
Let's
next.
have a party.
Oh yeah, where are you going next? Let us know
Where do
that.
you go after Ukraine? Yeah, that's kind of top of the world, isn't it? Finland, is that?
No,
Yeah, you can go
it's
to Finland.
it's on the Caspian Sea, is it, or the Black Sea?
I'm not a geologist.
It's near Crimea,
Okay.
Kiev.
So near Finland then, or Paris
No,
or something.
not really.
that. No,
But yeah.
I'll have a look later. I'll check out, see if my rifle, and we'll see if we can spot that. You know, I'll tell you, it is getting a little bit chilly up here in Clachnabin, and I'd love a rootin' tootin' good tune from one of the hot young acts you got lined up for us tonight, Jack. What's the first song that we're going to hear this evening? The second song?
Well, we've got a song off our first album, and it is the what do you call it again? When it's the title track?
I think
Single?
you call it the title track, don't you?
Yeah, there's a word for it though. Titular
Seminal.
or something. Seminal.
No.
Not seminal. Seminal is a funny word. Well, I don't
It's
really-
very similar to semolina,
It
but
is.
that's not the right word either.
Well, this one's written by Jim Weir, great Scottish poet, traditional Scottish poet, and it's called "Where Was I Last Night?"
Great. Let's hear it. One of my favorites. It is my favorite, in fact.
Oh, where was I last night? My memory's not too bright. Was I drunk? Did I fall? Oh, I can't recall. I'm in a dreadful plight. But once I've had a few of this barman's finest brew, I'll be back in the land of the living. I'll be feeling all brand new. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense of it last night. It can make no sense. Oh, where was I last night? I must have been quite tight. Did I drink too much? Oh, I'm out of touch. I wish I felt alright. But give me one more drink. I'll be feeling in the pink. I'll be back in the mood for a bevy. I'll be swallowing like a sink. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense of it last night. It can make no sense. Oh, where was I? I'm totally mystified. Tell me where did I go, 'cause I just don't know, I cannot tell a lie. But once I've shared a jar with all my friends here at the bar, it's a voyage of discovery, and I always go too far. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense. Of late last night can make no sense. Oh, where was I last night? I must have been high as a kite. Did I land somewhere? Should I worry? Should I care? I'll do the same tonight. You can read me like a book if you'd care to take a look. You can turn the other page now, and you know that I'll be hooked. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense. Of late last night they can make no sense. Oh, tell me, where did I go? I have a right to know. Did I make such a fool of myself? What a tool! I guess it must be so. Oh, I really should not spend one more penny in this den. But I'm ready for the booze up. Barman, set them up again. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense. Of late last night it can make no sense. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense. Of late last night it can make no sense. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense. Of late last night it can make no sense. Oh no, never again. Oh no, drinking men in drinking dens. Can't recall in the old past tense.
Okay, well,
Hello again.
Sorry, folks, we've just been saying really funny things and you've not been able to hear us.
Yeah, it's not really repeatable, but you really
had me
missed
live.
you missed a really good time there.
That wasn't actually a mistake. It was just like Facebook automatically mutes things that are obscene. So,
very, very close. But I do have a letter here, Jack, that's been sent in by Helen Rogie, who's also known as the Witch of Findrak. Is that okay? Do you remember Helen Rogie? Do you remember her?
Rings a bell.
Well, there's a bit here that I'm not going to read out, just like that last bit I'm glad was muted. Helen. So she just wondered if your hairy hands get in the way of playing guitar.
Well, I trim them, so I try and keep them, I do have to shave them once a day, and then in the evening I'll give them a quick trim.
Lycanthropy, is that?
I think
and
so.
the rest
only happens at a full moon.
The rest of the letters are just pretty much more about me being brave and stuff like that. So this is quite good. Someone sent us in this. This is the Goat of Mendes, a little book I got here called Scottish Witches. It's quite cool. So thanks very much for that, Jim Campbell. Sorry, I didn't realize the song was so short. Anyway, so you might have noticed that I'm set up this evening to do a little bit of sky watching.
I did notice a telescope there. It looks very fancy.
Well, I did actually see you fly past earlier, Duncan.
Aye, well, I thought I was close by. I did give you a wee wave. I might have dropped something. I'm not sure if you perhaps could smell it.
I know it's not a full moon. Let me just say that.
Okay.
But I'm up here this evening. Saturn is obviously coming into alignment. If you've been watching the stream for the past few weeks, normally I do the sort of 30-minute Saturn watching stuff, but we had a lot of complaints about that, so we'll be missing that out this evening. But Saturn is coming into alignment gradually. 2024 is what we're looking at, but already, everything's starting to turn a little bit upside down, higgledy-piggledy. So I have brought a few. Last week we had a big chat about books, went down really well. We got, I think there was like 4 viewers at that point, so really enjoyable. So I have brought a few more of my favorite books in this week. That's great with the Reader's Digest, Mysteries That Unexplained. If any of you at home have got a great book like this, then please let us know. It doesn't have to be Reader's Digest, just has to be about the sort of unexplained stuff.
Is it unexplained because it's Reader's Digest? Because you know how they just miss stuff out to make it smaller?
What? The Reader's Digest, what, they censor stuff?
They take stuff out to condense it so it's a shorter read.
I always thought it was just advice about, getting fiber and stuff.
Is it not?
Just to make sure your digestive system
shorter versions of books.
That makes so much sense, because everyone was saying War and Peace was really long. I never got it.
I mean, anyway, you always used to send away for the Reader's Digest, Duncan.
Oh aye.
It was a Duncan night, Chuch, the Gorms, and it would come every month.
Mm-hmm.
This is not yours, by the way, Duncan. This is mine. Like, I got this one as well. I know you lost your copy. This is not yours. It says inside it says there, you can see Stewart Cook, so it's not yours.
That's right.
Just to be clear.
Okay.
This is a live microphone, isn't it? Anyway, we'll get back to the Saturn watching stuff in a little while. I don't want to dilly-dally around here. I know we got a lot of people who are feeling a little bit lonely tonight, wherever they are, and I don't want to feel them left out in the cold. Just because I'm out in the cold, I don't want them to feel that. Any comments from our viewers this evening?
Of course. Let's see who's watching. So, Caroline Lee Smith. Gormtastic, it's Friday night again. There are some good things to come out of lockdown.
Oh, yes. Caroline.
Best thing to come out of lockdown.
The Gorms live stream.
Sitting talking nonsense every Friday. Laura Dalgetty's watching. Tony Campbell, top fan. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon here. Sun is shining, snow is melting.
Lovely.
And that'll be Canada. And Ken says, have you gotten down to Sevastopol, or is that'll be the Ukraine, or is Crim sort of out of bounds now? I think there's a conversation going on that
that's good. This is the
I'm way behind on
the Gormling community. This is open discussion here.
Sadly, Crim is out of bounds, says Trisha D. So they haven't made it there. Sounds like a lovely place, though. So Ken's back again. A song about fancy ladies. It needs to be a sea shanty and perhaps an exhausted subject. Who doesn't like a fancy lady?
Well, I don't want to name names, but you're looking at one of them somewhere.
Trisha D is asking what the COVID situation in Edinburgh is lately.
It's cured. It's cured here.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
It's been eradicated.
Is that right? I hadn't heard that.
Well, we might be doing a gig if it was, but
that sounds like you're going to have your Facebook taken down, Jack.
I'm sorry. It was a joke.
Spreading misinformation. Oh no. That's never
it's
happened at a Gorms gig
Still
before,
a
has it?
lockdown at the moment.
Still lockdown.
Sadly. That's why we're all, well, one's in an igloo, one's in the studio, and I'm way up high.
Oh, Bob
Yeah, so
Newland.
lockdown, no-
Bob Newland just sent us £20. Thanks,
Cheers,
Bob,
Bob.
and Trisha. Much appreciated.
Amazing. That'll keep the studio afloat for another week.
Well, I can pay Mick Hucknall off. Leave me alone for another week.
Just stop complaining about the poor service. Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying there?
Any more messages, Duncan?
Oh, yeah. David Lee Smith says Clachnabane is known for practices in human sacrifices. The nearby Water of Dye is so known for the blood of which is thrown to the Christian god, apparently. Be careful, Stewart. You have been warned. Have you seen any witches with your telescope while you've been up there?
No, but I'm told it's a popular dog walking site.
Is that right? What kind of
Are you
dog?
sure? You sure it was dog walking?
Yeah,
Dog,
I
dog,
thought
dog
maybe-
something probably.
Maybe a lady out for a walk with a dog, or a boy, or a lady boy. Anything could happen in Clachnabane.
Ah, well, human sacrifice, apparently.
I heard it was
so-
a good dogging site, but I don't know what that is really. But
Yeah, it's really popular. I mean, the walks are pretty good. You do, like I saw a lot of people on the trail today, all sorts of dogs. Everyone was doing that thing when they're not sure when they should come up, how close they should be. But yeah, it is definitely a great dog site, I guess. Pretty cool. But the sacrifice, yeah, there is stories about that. White Cow Forest, not too far away, and as recently as the 1980s, they had some bizarre rituals going on there. So always a danger in the north of Scotland, but life is full of danger at the moment. David Lee Roth, thank you for your comment. Embrace the danger, but only to a certain extent. And if it's on your own, I guess it's different, or with a dog walker, that'd be fine as well.
Okay, that's that cleared up. Chris Riley says, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right because my Gaelic doesn't really exist. Do de
You don't speak the
slancha.
tongue?
I don't speak the tongue, do you? Do de slancha. I don't know how that is pronounced, so I do apologise for my lack.
And how do we respond? We could say slanger,
Slancha. Or are you going to say slanger va, were you?
something like that.
That'll do.
glass
Slancha.
vision.
Bunch of gannets.
So Trisha D's been back in touch. She says next they're going to Albania, then off to the States. And Morvin has said titular track, so that
There it
answers
is.
that question.
I thought it sounded a bit rude, so I didn't want to commit to that.
It's probably the most rude sounding thing you could possibly said in this stream.
Means
Oh,
first.
It's
Ken
not 9
Longfellow,
o'clock yet.
Hey, he said tit. Popular song. Sound. No sound. Okay, yeah, we were muted for a while, weren't we?
Yeah,
Okay, so we're cut.
technical
up to that.
difficulties.
Och, my ma warned the hair would grow if I did that too much. That's from Ken, but I'm not quite sure.
Looking through telescopes and shaking hands with people.
And walking dogs.
I think walking dog is a good way to avoid that.
But getting hair on your hands. I know they're always covered in hair.
Hairy hand syndrome.
Indeed.
All the bullshit.
Strumming your strings a bit too much.
Uh-huh.
I think, sorry, I'm reading all these comments out in the order they come, but they're all referring to different conversations, so I hope you're all keeping up with me.
Sorry, we're keeping up with you. Keep going, man.
Okay, good. So, Stuart, also be careful of the fear of Leith Moore. The truth is out there.
I want to
As
believe.
Margaret Thatcher, so well, or her partner, Thatcher's partner, Edward Heath. Did you say, Jack?
Her partner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Next one.
Well, the next one's actually a Reader's Digest book. Can you tell me
Great.
what the book is from what's written here? Wee guy spends decades in idyllic countryside before the same wizard who crippled his uncle sends him on a death march for some jewellery.
I think that was Gorms live stream number 17, was it?
No, that's the Reader's Digest
That's in the
version
future.
of The Lord of the Rings.
Almost got it right then.
Yeah, there you go. Right, that's
Andy
us
Kumarka.
caught up with the comments.
So folks, something a bit different tonight. Nothing to do with the fact that we're running out of material, and we've not got anything to really offer you. But we're going we're going to well, first of all, in about 9 years ago, we played a gig. Maybe you could tell this story, man.
Was it that
Duncan.
long ago?
Yeah, it was 2012.
2012. So it was January, I think. And we had been playing at that point. We were playing Thursday nights and Friday nights consecutively at Whiskey every week. And after a gig on a Thursday night,
We went drinking.
as we did tend to do
Unusual.
in those days.
Occasionally, very rarely.
We went from Whiskey Bar round the corner to the Banshee Labyrinth in the company of
Some bonny lassies, right?
no, what was the guy who used to come and see us at Slangeva? Gary. Was it Gary?
Yeah, let's say Gary. Oh,
Let's-
yes, it was Gary. He's very twee. Very twee gentleman.
Aye.
I hope he's doing well. I hope you see this, Gary. Give me
Yeah,
that fiver back.
I haven't heard from him for ages. Anyway, so we went down to the Banshee Labyrinth, and that evening Nigel Kennedy had been at the Usher Hall at the West End Edinburgh playing.
By
with
the
his
way, I
orchestra.
hope people know who Nigel Kennedy is.
Yeah, he's like a fiddle player.
Yeah, he's a violin player from Aston in Birmingham. Very, very famous. The punk fiddler for the 80s.
He wore
And,
silly clothes.
Aye, he did. He's a great guy. Very, very nice guy. So he was in the Banshee Labyrinth, and apparently not many people knew who he was. And I was a bit starstruck, so I went up and started chatting to him. And we ended up in his hotel suite till 8 o'clock in the morning, drinking beer and talking about folk music.
Don't kiss and tell here.
I
Oh,
think
don't worry,
you
it's not
only.
that.
It was only actually you
Well,
that
actually,
ended
it was
up
just-
there.
It was me and Gary.
I
Till
went
8
back
in
to
the
my
morning.
wife, second wife. Jack, you went do some research, cancer and stuff.
That's right.
Duncan's
aye.
partying. Surprise, surprise.
I was partying till 8 in the
I had a
morning.
bit of studying to do. Yeah.
And so then on the Friday, the next day, I went to Whiskey to tell him what was happening, and Nigel booked a table for his or 8 of them to go and have dinner there. And then, if you remember, we asked him to play, and he didn't have his fiddle. And then, in walks Grant Simpson from North Sea Gas, and he said, "Grant, can we by any chance borrow your fiddle?" I was
He
like,
said
"Well,
no.
who wants to play it?" "No, I don't want to give anybody my fiddle." I was like, "Well, it's Nigel Kennedy." I was like, "Oh well, here you go." And then we had the awesome Nigel Kennedy performing with us for a few songs in the Whiskey Bar on his night off and on his massive tour. That was pretty awesome.
It was a great night. I'm glad I
It was a
wasn't
great
taking
night.
magic mushrooms this night.
I'm sure Nigel Kennedy wouldn't have minded that. But just speculation. But so the we had a video of this event taken. It's on YouTube. It's not actually on our channel though. It's on a channel called 00 Dave. What's his name, Duncan? Dave
David Ross.
Dave Ross?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He works.
Or did you say Dave Russell?
He's an alcoholic. That's all
Russell.
you need to know.
Dave Russell, sorry, not Ross. Russell. You're right. I'm getting my R's mixed up. Yes.
So
but
he used
he's
to work at Whiskey, and he took the video. So it's actually on his channel. If you want to watch it again after this, because we're going to show it, you can check it out
Right.
there. But the quality isn't great because it was from 9 years ago. But we thought we'd play it for you a bit different, something a bit different.
Happy memories.
Indeed.
Walk down memory lane.
That's Paka, mate.
Where is he? He's here.
He's here. He's behind you.
What's Jamie Oliver got to do with it?
Jamie Oliver he stole his whole game. off
Let's
of
have a
Nigel
Ruby.
Just play the track, right?
So there's 3 tracks here, folks. So I think the first one is Portree Kid, which we've never played on a stream. It's like a parody of
Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Yep, and
Ghost
then
chickens in the sky.
and then I think Matty Groves, and that's where we get joined by Nigel Kennedy, and then we do Johnny B. Drunk with him as well. He does a great solo. So
Cool.
hopefully
Not seen this in a while.
the sound quality is okay. The video's a bit kind of blurry, but there you go.
We look better blurry, Jack. We look much better blurry.
All right.
They were big, the terror of the Highland lads. That was the Portree Kid. Hey, he's from home, he's from hey, the shooter would come this sky. His sidekick was an older man, and all but he was mean. He was called the Midnight Cowboy, and he can't play Aberdeen. He had 27 notches on his stomach, so they say, and he killed 1 million Indians. Waved and scored away. Rob Portree pulled him to the door, he sauntered tail and ar. He poured a shot of crabbies, he shouted, Slangela! While midnight's being chatted up by a married crook called Lucky, who said, well, now over in the corner, there's a 3 men for the Ulster Tool. They're playing games for money in a snakes and ladders school. The 4th man was a southerner, he'd come of fame and merry, and he'd been a river gambler, they said, on the Ballahoola Skerry. Oh, he's from home, he's from hey, the star that comes this sky. Portree went up to the table and he shouted, shake me in. He snuggled on me a cup, he gave the dice a spin. He threw 7 6s in a row and the game was nearly done. But then he landed on a snake and he finished on square one. The game was nearly over and Portree's doing fine. He landed on a ladder, he was up to 49. He only had but 1 to go and the other men were beat. But the gambler couldn't pull the reboard. And he shouted, bloody cheat! Oh, dear. Well, then, I behind the rubber plants to try and save their skin. The accordion was not playing, his psychic dropped his spoons. He says, nothing is funny. You can have that ladder twice, and I always done the table, you cheating bastard. When I go to throw my dice, well, the gambler drew his steam to as fast as lightning speed. Portree grabbed the screw top, he cracked him hard on heat. And then he gave him loudly, we are slamming off the roll. What's wrong? What's wrong?
Sound.
I We'll just play on. I don't think anyone will notice the wee stop, will they? Right, give him lad you a salmon off the wall.
And he finest off the business.
Then he gave him lad you a salmon off the wall, and he finished off this business with his lucky grouse boots. How's Weir? He's on home. He's on hey, yeah. The shoot dog, the calm face side. Well, the fight went raging on all night till opening time next day. With a break for soup and stovies, the coronation tray. It was getting kind of obvious that we were singing our songs on the roar. Then came the shout that stopped it all. There's a one more time. He's from home. Oh, he's from hey, yeah. The star, the calm face
We're going to take a break and try and fix the problem that we've got. We'd like to welcome to the stage, appearing for one night only with the Gorms, the legendary Nigel Kennedy.
This song's all about the dangers of sleeping with married women that you meet when you're at church. The first month on the air, Lord Donald's wife came in to the church that goes before the ear. I went on me town, it was on, she cast her eyes about. Her mercy's all the tomato rolls, walking in the crowd. Come home with me, the tomato rolls, come home with me tonight. Come home with me, the tomato rolls, and sleep with me tonight. I can't come home, I won't come home and sleep with you tonight. And the rings on your fingers, I can tell you are Lord Donald's wife. But if I am Lord Donald's wife, Lord Donald's not at home. He's away in the far green lands, bringing the innards home. But the servant that was standing by, and hearing what was said, he swore Lord Donald he would tell before the sun had set. And when he came to the far green stream, he slipped and broke his arm. When he came to the far green place, he threw his shoe to the ground.
Variation on Johnny B.
One, two, there we go. All right, we'd like to give you another song. This one was written by the great Scottish poet, a man called Jim Weir. He studied extensively the life and times of a man called Robert Fish, who was a companion of a guy called Robert Burns. The two of them used to write poetry together. So he wrote this song, Jim Weir that is, in 1940 or something. He was hanging out with a guy called Chuck Berry. And the song was stolen by Chuck Berry. The song's called Johnny Be Drunk. And Chuck Berry ran off to America. He's a Scotsman originally. And he changed it to... it's true. It's all there on Wikipedia. I update the site every day. He stole it, they called it Johnny Be Drunk, but of course the original is called Johnny Be Drunk, Johnny Be Good. Make some sense of that if you like. Okay, sing along. Everyone believe you like that. When she left him in the morning, he was still in his bunk. His head was hot and honest, and was Johnny Be Drunk. He wondered if the fire that he had last night would be absolutely spanking cats and looking like it in the light of the fire. Johnny just went straight down the bar and said, go! Go, Johnny, go, go, 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 go! Johnny Be Drunk, His time only lasted for just over an hour. He left them into some more bargaining power. All those nights he took me apart. He was running the place won't stop. Let me go. Go, go, Johnny, go, go, go. 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 When his wife came home, she said, where's my Joe? She went over the big drunken bastard gone. It didn't take her long to figure it out. She went to the pub and she started to shout. But Johnny just called, he said, I'll take one hand, I'm Johnny Be Drunk and I'm drunk again. Let's go! Go, Johnny, go, go, 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 go! Johnny Be Drunk.
Just feel like we go round and round, and it always come. Is that live now or?
What about that though, eh?
It's
Nigel
live.
Kennedy. Nigel Kennedy.
Right.
My goodness.
So that was bringing back good memories there.
Absolutely.
Happy times. Not that we can't be happy now with it, now that we've got our Friday night Gormling stream. But
You're going with that,
different
dude.
times, that's for sure.
Well, we've had
The gods then.
more folk join us. Where were we? Trisha D. Hall Newland saying, in Ukrainian we say budmo. That was in
Budmo.
response to my the only bit I could get right of this phrase was slancha, and the rest I didn't ken.
Good mo!
Budmo.
I want to celebrate that with a little bit more coffee.
Oh, you do that. What are you
Budmo,
drinking tonight,
Trisha?
Jack? Have you got a nice wee red wine there?
You know what? This week I'm actually going to tell you what it's called, so give me a minute. You carry on. 1 second.
Okay, you're going to go and find the bottle. Brilliant.
Duncan,
Ken was saying, what are you saying? You have an entire new album to tease us with a song. Well, there was 3, none of which are on the new album, and all of which featured Nigel Kennedy. So arguably that's just as good, I would say.
well said.
Pascal says, love this music, thanks. Aya Georgieva, greetings from Bulgaria. That's Aya, who plays violin in that band you might have heard of called Celtica, Pipes Rock, and Celtica Nova.
We often get accused of being Bulgarian folk music.
All the
I think it's
time, all the
important.
time.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the way you look and the way that sometimes you play those Bulgarian bagpipes that you never tell anyone about.
Do you think I have a sort of Bulgarian? Well, ask. What was the name of that? Was it a lady?
It's Aya from Celtica.
Aya from Celtica. Well, ask Aya if I have a Bulgarian edge, Duncan. Would you ask her that?
Well, you can ask her yourself right now.
Aya, do I have a sort of Bulgarian edge? I once knew a Bulgarian called Constantine, and he was handsome, but he was taken.
So here we have Navara, Denomicancion, de Regian.
I didn't know you spoke such fluent.
So
And
from
it's
the
called,
region of Navarra.
Garnacha Roble. It's a special edition, but that's written in Spanish, so it says Edición Especial. And it is it's a dry red wine. And apparently 1.8 UK units of alcohol per bottle. Per 125 milliliter, and then 10.5 UK units per bottle.
You're a big guy, Jack. It won't affect you. Did you buy that from the same place you get your William Wallace statues from?
Bought this from it's kind of a little hidden gem in Leith, actually. It's called Lidl.
I've heard of that place. It's meant to be amazing.
London Easter Road?
Yeah, Easter Road Lidl. So this was on special offer. So I would, it's not Buckfast, but there you go. Garnacha Roble. And yeah, so what I'm sorry I interrupted the flow there.
This is like an interview video for a job as a sommelier.
Yeah. By the way, they're not paying me, but if they would like to send me any, if any company would really like to send me anything, I'll do a little review here on this show, and maybe these guys would, but if you can send it to me first just to vet it, because they're busy and they don't have time to sort of sift through stuff like that. So send products to me, and I'll do a little review on the Gorms
What kind
show.
of products would you like to be sent?
Anything really, apart from
Fluffy
illegal
handcuffs.
things or scary things.
You don't want illegal things.
Some illegal things would be okay, others not. But I'm not going to say what. So
Right, okay. So send all the illegal things, and you can decide which ones you like and which ones you don't.
Dr. Seuss novels?
And are you also going to review these illegal things?
we'll see.
Okay.
I'll say no more. But on another subject,
Swiftly moving on.
Otto Mikkel Furley, who is our Norwegian friend, who we had a lovely meal with, he sent us £16. So thanks very much,
Cheers,
man.
Otto.
Much
Thanks,
appreciated.
Otto. The price of the new what's the girl again? She wears colourful clothes.
Lady Gaga.
No, not Lady Gaga. The one with the big bum, and she didn't go to Saudi Arabia. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
All right.
Price the new Nicki Minaj album. Auto bought and sealed. That is what I'll be spending the money on. Thank you very much. Directed all towards me. Auto, I hope Norway is good. I hope they haven't sent you back up the frozen north again. And we'll look forward to seeing you once this is all over.
We'll
get
do
back
that
over.
recording you were talking about, the podcast thing, where we have some food and a little chat.
That
Yeah, we
sounds
could
good.
try it.
That, I mean, can we, as long as we can do it on that balcony terrace in Bergen.
Luxury.
With your friend, the chef. That'll be awesome.
Oh,
Sorry, I forget his name.
Sire, I think it was.
Sire?
Sire, yep.
He's from Halo, isn't he? Anyway, sorry. Any more questions, Duncan?
Oh, well, we mentioned about the quality of the video, and Ken says, every time I've seen you blokes perform, I've been in a state of soft focus. And you're the most handsome
Yeah.
gents on the mile.
It's the most. That's probably like more realistic. That's how people remember us. Is
Through
just
rose-tinted spectacles.
just blurry and with low definition sound.
Chris Riley was singing along with the Portree Kid.
Cheers, Chris.
Me too.
Ken's saying, look at Stu's haircut. He's damn near respectable.
It's when you had a skinhead.
Wasn't he quite as short as that, but aye. David Lee Smith says Nigel is playing that fiddle like Jimmy Page plays a Les Paul.
Indeed.
Whatever happened to Jack White, the girl, the sister?
Meg White.
Yeah, put that to the chat. Can you put that to the chat, Duncan?
Well, you just ask the question. People are actually listening. That's how it works.
Can you send
Okay,
that out
what-
to the chat?
What happened to Meg White, Jack White's ex-wife, not his sister?
Ah, you see, I'm learning stuff already. Anyway, we should move on. What's the next question? I'm probably a bit behind here with that 15-minute Nigel
Okay,
Kennedy
well,
rant.
we have a question from Caroline Lee Smith. That Nigel Kennedy night must have been amazing. Any other truly memorable Gorms nights you'd like to share with the Friday Night Club?
The ones that we can talk about.
The ones that we actually can remember. There's probably a good place to start.
Go ahead, Jack.
One of my fondest memories is doing a radio interview in Moscow.
Oh, yeah.
And having one of the worst hangovers of my entire life. Honestly, and I've never had one worse. And
Spilled.
it's because it's drinking straight vodka. And we got woken up. We were drinking straight vodka till about 8 in the morning in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And then at about 10 in the morning when we were sleeping.
With Andy, what was the name again?
Andy Thorburn,
Thorburn.
great piano player. He's
From
really great
Leighton-
musician. He's
Leighton
well known.
Film.
Well, he's just kind of in the Scottish folk scene in general. But
Yeah.
we were with him. But anyway, the women, the cleaner, whoever it was in the hotel was banging on our door at 10 in the morning. We'd had 2 hours sleep, and they had to actually move us.
To a different
So
room.
then we did that, and then we had to go to a radio interview with this really chirpy American guy doing a Moscow radio show. AJ, I think he was called.
Oh, aye, that's right. Aye.
And I
You must
actually,
have been absolutely stinking.
I had to nearly stop the car on the way there because I was going to throw up. And the guy, he was a good sport. He just sort of sat there and he was chatting to us, and we did the interview. But the smell must have been horrendous in that room. He had no windows, and he just put up with it like a good sport, and trying to pretend like we weren't completely wasted was it was quite funny. And we played a song, I think, on that radio show, but I would love to hear a recording of it. And I remember I spilled a coffee by accident all over his carpet. So
At least it wasn't his mixing desk.
So that is actually quite a boring story, but to me, it was. I remember it well.
What about you, Duncan?
Well, I mean, that Nigel Kennedy thing was hard to beat. He was such a cool guy. What else? I do remember a good time through in Auchinleck. I think it was the first time we went through, and we weren't really sure what to expect. And we'd gone through to play for a Burns night at that community centre, and we sat in what was the name of the hotel? The Station Inn or something like that.
The Railway Inn.
Railway Inn, and we sat in the bar with Stevie, who was up to the bar like every 20 minutes.
Hope you're watching now, Stevie. That'd be good.
Aye, and we sat
Stevie
drinking.
and Bobby from the
Stevie
Gorms.
and Bobby, aye. And sat talking about Robert Burns till I don't know what time. Most of these stories end up with really late nights.
You remember
I felt very ill that time as well.
You remember
he was drinking about 3 pints for every half a pint that we had, and he kept bringing the same amount over for us.
That was some night, which we were just chugging them.
That Moscow radio show was also about Robert Burns as well. Yeah, Burns gets us in quite a lot of trouble. I think he would probably be delighted to hear that. You read about his journey, like Burns went on a journey with an Edinburgh man around Scotland when Burns turned up. They had this like idea that he was some kind of genius and everything like that. And they tagged him up with this sort of Edinburgh agent of the 18th century. I forget his name now, but sent him all around Scotland to do his poetry. And everywhere they went, it was just complete debauchery, absolute shambles.
Who was the Russian poet? What was his name? That was often thought of as similar to Burns.
Oh, it's the guy that was.
It's not Pushkin, is it?
It is. Yeah, I think it is.
Was it? I thought it started with a D.
Well,
but I have to ask Tommy Bevitt.
Do you remember we got that CD off Tommy?
I do. I think I've got it over there.
Part of it was Burns translated into Russian, and part of it was a Russian poet translated into English.
Tommy, if you're watching, hope you're doing all right.
That was somebody else.
Was it Dostoevsky?
Dostoevsky, maybe. No, was he not an author?
He was.
He not right? What? No. I always get this confused.
We should have researched this.
Stop talking. We're exposing our ignorance.
Absolutely. A good night that I've got to add in. I don't know. There's a lot to mention. I really love every night where we end up in either a sort of straight brothel,
a loving embrace,
a gay brothel, or when it gets to that point of the night when we're looking for somewhere to have a drink. It's really late. We're in some European place where if you want to have a beer, you're going to have to go into this place where it's going to be a sort of interesting place. They're all really good. Always have a good time there. But I think when we were in Terschelling, I don't know if it was the last visit, whenever year that was, some point before lockdown, BC.
Yeah.
We were there. Our banjo player was so saturated with the local speciality, which was, it's got a special name. It's a bit like, it's a herbal, shot. It's really strong. The barman had said, if you drink that, we call it the two.
Bitters, something bitter.
I
can't remember.
It was one of the very few times on our travels where I'm not the most drunk person. So that one is a fond memory of rescuing our banjo player. And I think after that, I got really drunk, more drunk than him, and fell over and slept in a stranger's tent. They weren't very happy.
I remember carrying him home with everyone else that was there, and the guy in the front just singing the Mingulay boat song like a funeral march.
Well, but when he actually, before all that happened, when he actually arrived, we'd been searching for him for 24 hours because he just disappeared off the face of the planet on the way there. And
More than 24 hours.
And he turned up completely hammered with his rucksack.
Unannounced.
And unannounced, we hadn't been able to get hold of him for more than a day. Didn't know where he was. And he turns up completely wrecked. And then we tried to get his tent set up and his sleeping bag set up. And we went through his rucksack and all that we could find was a big massive pile of books. And this is what he'd brought for a whole week.
And things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to behave like a child and gallivant about the place, then you're in the right place.
That was quality.
What it's been. I do miss it. I do really miss it. But I hope that answered the question. It's probably a little bit long drawn out. I hope it wasn't too boring either. Reminiscent there. A bit pathetic. Duncan, next question.
Okay, so we've got more folk. John Harris says, watching from Port Talbot in South Wales. We saw you
John
guys.
Harris. First time caller. Nice to have you in there, John.
We saw you guys in the Ensign year 2 years ago, and you were amazing. Well, thanks, John.
Thanks very
Hopefully-
much.
Hopefully, the time will come again when you can travel back up here and we can play. Don't know when that's going to happen, but hopefully soon. Ken says, "Hey, just got a Gorms CD in the post just now.
Amazing, Ken. Thanks for buying that.
made
It's
it-
the second album.
Made its way all the way to San Diego."
Dead.
Great
Good to know
album.
the post is still operating properly.
US Postal Service.
Kimberly Albro, this is another Celtica fan from America, from Colorado.
Oh, here
She
we
says,
go.
"Hi, Gorms, we meet again."
Celtic fans.
Now,
Sorry, what-
now that she knows about the stream,
Don't you mean former Celtica fan, newly acquired Gorms fan?
but this is what I was going to say. Now that she knows about the stream, we've acquired Kimberly, so don't be surprised.
You're allowed
if
to
she
like
starts
both, don't worry.
messaging you.
Like and subscribe.
So this is the first step to touring in America. Anyway, okay, another question. Trisha D asks, if someone wanted to learn the penny whistle, is there a brand
I'm teaching it
purchase?
at the moment.
Are you teaching it?
Yeah.
Maybe I should get some lessons. I taught myself based on what I know from the bagpipe, so I don't really play
The
penny
first
whistle.
thing you do is get
properly.
one here, and you go like this.
Good embouchure.
Excellent.
And
But so
you got to
what-
practice long notes like that because it just sounds good.
Okay.
I'm almost scared to ask, Jack, how's your circular breathing?
Well, how long do we have? 22 minutes to go, so let's.
You're right.
I can do
Take
that, I
too
think.
Don't worry about it.
So what brand of whistle is that, Jack?
That is it's
Fey Dog.
Gallic. Yep, Fey Dog.
Okay, so that's so in answer to your question, Trisha D, if you're learning, there are two brands that are very well known. You can pick up a very cheap D whistle, and
That's
Fey Dog
not
is
cheap.
one, and Clark's is another kind of Irish, well-known brand, and Walton as well. And they
Learn
all-
on a D. You think learn on a D whistle?
Yeah, it's a standard key, I would say.
Is that the big guy?
Well, there is a low D whistle, which is much bigger. That's an octave down. I don't have mine to hand.
It does sound lovely. I like the big ones.
Yeah. Well, the big one that I've got is a low D, but you want something much smaller than that to start off with. High D whistles, your perfect go-to. And these brands, Clark's, Walton, Fey Dog, you find them in almost every music store, I would say. And these ones are very cheap.
Go to your local music store and buy them.
Yeah,
And, do you,
And if it's a last resort, get them on Amazon. But there you go.
yeah, but every music shop will carry these. Assuming you
Yeah.
can find one that's open.
and you play along with some of your favorite tunes. Is that the idea when you're starting out?
I'm trying to remember. I think I just learned the melodies of the tunes we'd chosen to play in the early days.
It helps
That's
if
how
you
I
already
started.
play bagpipes.
Yeah, I mean, I came from a point of view of another wind instrument, so it wasn't a million miles away. I use maybe more of a bagpipe technique on it, but the end result is Gorms. So,
Unmistakably so.
unmistakably so.
So,
Yeah, well, that's
folks,
cool.
do you
Well,
think we should have a tune?
Aye.
Let's have a wee tune break. This
Aye.
is off our third album. It's the Merry Blacksmith set. So a wee instrumental. It's not too long. Just get a wee dance going. I think we should get more dancing going on the stream.
Okay.
Maybe we
well,
should do a live Kaylee. You should call it one day. That'd be good.
That sounds good, Duncan. Yeah.
All right.
Virtual dance partners.
Here we go.
1746 saw the final year of rebellion as the Jacobite army would be crushed at the Battle of Culloden. Now, several years after that, a woman down in Westminster, London, by the name of Lady Nairn, would write a song by the name Will You No Come Back Again? Now, sadly, the prince would never come back, for after such a defeat at Culloden, he would turn to the bottle, turn to women, and who can blame him? He never did come back. But we don't like to hang up on the sadness of Bonnie Prince Charlie, but rather some of the hilarity that ensued, the hilarity that can only come when men and women dying in a field of battle. And away as well. And so it was that just a few weeks before Culloden, young Charlie, he found himself in the company of, I'll be careful with my words here, a lady that was known, if that makes any sense to you. Now this is the Lady Mackintosh, and she was an off to boast that she'd had twa king's sons in her bed and she wouldn't hae another one. She'd slept with both the prince of the Hanoverian army, the butcher, old Cumberland, and she'd also slept with Bonnie Prince Charlie himself. Now, word had got somehow to this Hanoverian force as they were hunting Charlie and the Jacobites up north, that young Charles Edward Stewart had found himself once again in the company of Lady Mackintosh, held up in her castle up at Moy. But they were fearful of an attack because the Jacobites were known for their guerrilla tactics, and so as a result, only a small force, about 15 Hanoverian soldiers, would set out for Moy. Now, when word reaches the castle at Moy that the Hanoverians are coming, well, poor old Charlie barely has time to get his breeks on. He runs out the back with just a shirt on, jumps on a horse, and fires away to meet the rest of the Jacobites. But still, the problem here is that the army, the Hanoverians, are marching up towards Moy. Well, Lady Mackintosh immediately calls her staff, all 5 of them, and these 5 men are going to have to hold off an army of 1,500 angry Hanoverians. The blacksmith is immediately put in charge, and he takes the other 4, the candle maker, the bread maker, whatever else the hell they had, and they went out to the hills just outside the castle. And as they saw this 1,500 Hanoverian strong army walking down, the blacksmith stood up at the top of his hill and he signalled to his pals in the other hills. And he shouted out, "MacGregors, forward!" MacGregor's always led the charge of a Jacobite army, eh? And then the candlemaker, he shouts out, "Graham's forward!" And so on and so on. And well, in the darkness and in the panic and fearful of attack, the Hanoverians mistook this for an ambush. And the 1,500, they turned and they ran away, leaving behind 5 brave members of staff and that old whore, Lady Mackintosh. Happy times indeed, eh? But, well, let's get to the sad part now. The song, Will You No Come Back Again?
If you ever do that again, Duncan, I honestly...
Well, I mean... You know, I don't really think it was my fault, to be
fair. Shut up, man. Shut up. We're live. So,
hey, welcome back, folks.
Welcome back.
David Lee Roth in the house tonight. Good to see you. I am the Friday Night Messiah, Stewart Cook, joined by my partners in crime, Jack and Duncan, my brothers at a local band called the Gorms. We're just catching up there on some of the recent findings in the stars this evening. Duncan.
Yes.
I'm going to pass over to you. You had some big news just come in, breaking news from the chat room here.
I've got some lined up here.
Oh. Wow.
I've got David Lee Smith, Easter Road. Ooh, glory days, high bees. Well, David, I'm
David
not
is scoring there.
Duncan doesn't like that, but I live in somewhat of that vicinity, so
I can see Easter Road Stadium from my window.
Oh, well, you've just told them where you live, Duncan.
Oh, so I did.
Alex Ellenson says, "Hello, boys. Hey, Alex, how you doing?
How's it going, man?
Good to see you, man." And David Lee Smith says, "Rose-tinted testicles."
Good choice.
I did mention rose-tinted spectacles earlier, so I mean, you could go that way. I mean,
you can go anywhere you want.
Would it not signify some kind of inflammation and something rather uncomfortable?
I would think so.
Yeah, let's avoid that then.
Trisha D. Hall Newland says, "Bob says Pushkin." That's the
Robert Burns,
the Russian poet
yeah,
or writer. And then David Lee Smith. Yeah, David Lee Smith says, "If you had to listen to one last song before you die, what would it be?"
What's the next song we're going to play?
That's an easy one. That's a get-out clause there.
Barry Maguire, Edge of Destruction. We're on the edge of destruction.
Mine's
like
would
to
be
hear-
Would I Lie to You by Charles and Eddie. And it was number 1 in the late 90s, I think. Yeah, check that one out.
I would like to hear C2C Fuya by C2C.
Can I do another one, which is...
I don't have a mic in my hand to drop, but that
What
seemed
was
like
that
that
one?
kind of moment.
Duncan, you'll know this one. You're a European.
We'll
What's
see.
that one that goes,
The band was Ozone. What was the name of the song, though?
With the twink, the good-looking boys.
Ozone, wasn't it?
Ozone! There we go. But Barry
I
Maguire.
can't remember the name of the song.
Like when the pills are kicking in Barry Maguire, and when I don't die, Ozone. Finish me off, you know. And then wheel me out on a cart, you know. Everyone's like, yeah!
Excellent.
I also would say McAlpine's Fusiliers.
That's a good one.
By the
Is
Gorms.
that by any chance the next one?
It is. So I'm gonna get what I want.
You're about to die. Well, we're all going to get what we want. Hey, okay, great. Let's hear it.
As down the glen rode McAlpine's men, their shovels swung behind them. 'Twas in the pub that they drank their sup, and up in the spikes you'll find them. They bathed in blood, and they drank the mud, with pints and quarts so beer. And now we're on the road again, McAlpine's Fusiliers. Right! I've worked the skin with a darky fen down on the Isle of Rain. We horse face tool, I knew the road, no bonus if you stop for rain. McAlpine's God was a well-felt hog, with shoulders cut to bits and seared. And woe to he went to look for tea, McAlpine's Fusiliers. Aye! I mind the day when the bait O'Shea fell into a concrete stair. What Horseface said when he saw him dead wasn't what the rich call prayers. I'm a naughty short was his one retort, then reached unto my ears. When the going's rough, you must be tough, McAlpine's Fusiliers. Aye! I'm marked till sweat has had me back. We Russian check and pull on the hydro dams, on the saffron jams, down beneath the Thames in a hole. I've worked my way and I have my pay, with many gangers cross my ears. If you fight your life, don't join by Christ, McAlpine's Fusiliers. Aye! As down the glen rode McAlpine's men, their shovels swung behind them. 'Twas in the pub that they drank their sup, and up in the spikes you'll find them. They bathed in blood, and they drank their mud, with pints and quarts so beer. And now we're on the road again, McAlpine's Fusiliers. And now we're on the road again, McAlpine's Fusiliers.
Hello.
Gasping on Jupiter. Much?
I haven't
Yes.
seen it, but I mean, is that what you were seeing through your telescope there? Or is it a wee bit too light still? Or is
That's
it
what it
not in the
looks like.
sky yet?
Well, I mean, I can turn the light off if you want. If you don't believe me, like, look at this.
Oh, wow, look at that.
That is mental. It's absolutely mental. We're gonna have to wrap this up because I'll get some live footage of it. That's so
Have you
bizarre.
got any paranormal activity happening there? What is this?
Or paranormal activity.
Well, I was actually just before we started the stream, I was reading this one here.
The paranormal world of Paul McKenna.
And I don't want to drag on too long, so I'm going to get out here. But he says the paranormal may be defined as those phenomena which can be proved to exist, but which science cannot yet explain. He goes on to say a little bit further on, I want to tell some of the truly wonderful stories I came across during my researches, which for various reasons we did not feature in the TV series. I also want to offer some background material which I hope they will find fascinating and compelling. It's not my intention here to play the scientific investigator, because that's better left to other people. Like, I'm not a scientist.
Really?
Oh, I actually am.
Nah.
Nice save.
But not of this kind of stuff. Not of this kind of stuff.
So my screen is delayed again. Sorry, folks. Sorry about that. Should I get through some of these comments?
Do we have to?
So we've got Otto is saying, enjoy Nicki Minaj. Next time you're in Bergen, we will fix a new dinner on the balcony. I invite
That'd be cool.
Sire too. Maybe I'm going to Edinburgh one day, post-COVID. Then I have to know where you play. Yep,
Well,
that'll be great.
So do we. At the moment.
Nikki will be there, but she hasn't been talking to me much. She's kind of still hacked off over the Saudis.
Do you remember once we were forced to play backing for somebody that had been on Britain's Got Talent or the X Factor or something?
It's a hell of a new year.
In whiskey.
We
And
were
it was like,
forced
she
to
was,
play.
She was a finalist in that.
Lebowski.
I do remember that.
And the Lebowski's.
Yeah, I'm not sure
unfortunately-
what that was about, but
Unfortunately, we had drank quite a lot.
And we didn't know what song she wanted, so it was a disaster.
We gave it our best shot, you know, and
That's right.
she went home happy that night. I can tell you that much.
She didn't go home with you then.
Any more comments?
Oh, dear.
Duncan?
right, so we've got Ken Longfellow says, fuck no Jack. Oh, frick no Jack. My dog just put a gun to his head. That must have been when I played the whistle. Trisha D says, I play bass recorder, so the low D would be nice. I'll be ready to jam some long tones with you fellows in a few weeks.
Hey, that'd be great. When you're over, make sure you bring the instrument with you. Yeah. We always look forward to that. We've had people turn up double basses and all kinds of stuff. You know, just rolling up to play.
Saw, musical Saw.
Be looking
Yeah.
for a different brand make of whistle if you're going for a low D, though. I don't think Waltons and Clarks and so on make the low D. You'll be looking for Chieftains are good, and Dixons are cheap. There you go.
I just wanted to add that, you know, as the Friday Night Messiah, like, we often have people who come along to play with us who are absolutely awful. You know, my brothers have been a perfect example of that. But even if the pub says, right, that was so bad that, you know, your conversation was terrible. I mean, they say that because they want to cover up for they don't want to name musicians. But we'll always find another gig, you know, and I'm sure after COVID it'll just be the same. So don't be embarrassed. Like, if you come along with your instrument, we always want to get everyone involved. That's part of the fun. Just usually later on is much better, especially if you're Welsh. If you're Welsh and you want to sing, really late is the best time for that. It's when people really enjoy it. Me in particular.
We've got Morven Coghill says, my cat did not enjoy that noise. I'm so sorry to your cat. Ken Longfellow, I have a low D. Have started with high D. It took a while to learn the breath was very different. I couldn't stay out of the upper register.
That makes a lot of sense.
Any tips, Duncan?
Practice. It is all about breath control. You got to learn to
Every
play
day.
steadily, softly, to avoid, like Ken says, jumping up into the higher register.
We've got Paul Sutherland says Dragon Stedente. I don't know what that means.
What's
Chris.
the name of the song by Ozone?
All right. Chris Riley.
Oh, so it was.
Chris Riley says Dragons Dentai. Spelled differently.
That is your real name.
Amy Hopkinson says beautiful cover of it by Blanid.
So we'll need to
It's a
check,
really good version, yeah.
check that out.
Ken Longfellow says, "Yous know my sad little life is nothing without Friday Gorm stream. I don't want to gush on, but thanks fellows for giving my afternoon something worth delaying a nap for." Well,
The
Ken,
feeling is reciprocated, Ken.
yeah, we're so
Cheers.
glad you join us whenever you can. You're usually here every week, and you contribute to the chat. Unlike the new guy who's just appeared in the chat, I'm not sure I like the
my
look of this
goodness.
guy. Ricky Thompson, he's called.
That sounds like a dodgy name to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. His profile picture's got him trying to get some beats out his drums.
I once knew a guitar player who played in a band with a guy called Ricky Thompson. What was the name of the band, Duncan? You remember? It's a forgettable name. Something to do with losing weight.
Losing weight? Oh, wait a minute. No, that's confused me.
I don't know. It was like the Gastric Band or something like that.
Oh, right. That's what you meant.
Actually, and years ago, I knew a guy that he was a drummer as well, playing in a band called Jackie Treehorn.
Uh-huh.
And we used to tour with them before we started playing folk music, when we were playing sort of Norwegian black metal, a bit like Whitan or whatever they're called. It's a bad name, Ricky Thompson. That's all I want to add. Sorry.
Well, he says anyway. I mean, give him the benefit of the doubt for now. He says, "Who are your favorite Top Gear presenters?" Well, Ricky, I would say for me it would have to be the guy that plays Joey.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, and Chris Evans. They were both quite good. I liked the series where they did it in tandem. You know, they both presented it together, and I hear there was a lot of tension behind the scenes, which is why Chris Evans was given the boot. But
Is that right?
I don't think it was ever as good as when they were teaming up, to be honest with you.
My favourite was the Stig.
Stig was great.
He's
So
not a
fast.
presenter.
Well, it's a show about cars, and he's the only one that can drive.
And the other guy, Hammond, yeah, that's it. So anyway, on we go. What, do you have anything to add to that, Stu?
Yeah, well, I didn't watch. Top Gear was on a channel out of habit. I just don't watch it. I was brought up that way, but I did like Upper Gear or something
Fifth
like
Gear.
that. It was called Fifth Gear. Yeah,
Fifth
with
Gear,
that.
right.
I think a guy called Dion.
Forgot about
I
that.
remember his name, but I do
Great
remember.
show. Really great show.
What's the one with Ed China in it? The one where they fix cars. That's much better.
Yeah,
Wheeler
that one.
Dealers, that's it. Wheeler Dealers. I can't mind the name of the presenter, but Ed China.
I like the show where they just park cars.
All right,
That's
is
a
that
good-
called
I
lockdown?
did
That's
like
called
Scrap
reverse
Cabin.
gear.
Is that called coronavirus outbreak?
Let me see here. We've got Ali Burgess says holla. All right, Ali. David Lee Smith says feck. That's good. No swearing on the show. No one wants to pay musicians. Well, we know we're on the receiving end of that. But you don't use feck here. You use the actual word. So I was about to be caught out there and say it, but I'm not gonna. And then it says music is the best thing in life, which I agree.
Well,
There is one thing you can do though. You could actually buy our new album, but I know you've already done that, David. Don't worry. But anyone else who's watching today, Bandcamp has got Bandcamp Friday, which means today they don't take any of the revenue, so we get it all. So if you haven't bought it already, I'm sure you have. You could buy our album today.
Yeah, and I
Good
do
tip,
just want
good
to add
tip.
to that as well. You know, David, a bit cynical there, a bit cynical as always, coming in with that. But we do get support on this this thing, whatever this is, and it's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's keeping us going. It's dark times, brutal times for musicians, but I guess it serves us right, you know, for deciding to play music and you know, you make your bed and you lie in it. Should have got a job, a real job. Jennifer told us, get a
That doesn't
real
matter.
job.
You've got a wonderful tent.
I
do have a
the only
wonderful
thing
tent.
is now, even if you had a real job, there's no security there either. So, not to bring it in a downer.
When there's no people.
No.
Your next question then?
Yeah. On that note, Ricky Thompson says, before you all sold out, Ricky, look, I know you're one of these disgruntled fans who were there from the beginning, and you kept asking for the same song. What was it? The Wild Rover again and again, and you know, we don't want to have to block you from the stream.
Is that the guy that used to give blowjob?
What?
That used to give that used to work in the shop on Drummond Street.
It could be him. Sounds like him. The kind of thing he would say, to be honest.
I got a lot of cheap DVDs off him when the business changed. Is that guy? Interesting. Okay, a blast from the past.
Anyway,
Maybe
Ricky, thanks for joining us, Ricky. Hope you're doing all right,
Ricky,
man.
Ricky, send some money this way, and we'll read out your comments. No problem.
I'll send some to your band if you send some to us. David Lee Smith says, everyone knows drummers are not right in the head.
I'm a bagpiper, so I'm
no
biased.
comment. Stu plays a wee drum, so
Very wee.
Yeah. Ali Burgess says Ricky is a legend.
No, that's
so
Rocky.
there you go.
That's Rocky.
Ali, you have gone right down in my estimations. But look me up, Ali. You were
Got some
asking
dissenters in the ranks here.
in the area. So I'm up in Clackaben at the moment. Yeah, it'd be good to hook up with you. Obviously the coronavirus, but we can hook up over, you know, the usual grinder channels.
We've got an OnlyFans Gorm channel starting soon. So watch out for that.
Yeah, I don't. It's so private. I don't even know about it.
We'll talk about it later. But Ken Longfellow says he replies to David by saying, "You did not say your answer to the question you posed. Inquiring minds want to know." Can't remember what that is.
That was what if you could only hear. I think it was this one anyway. If you had to, what's your favorite song? What if you could only?
No, he's replying to David, not to us. So David.
No, it wasn't our question. Somebody asked if you could only listen to one song before you die, what would it be?
Yeah, but we've answered that.
Yeah, but David hasn't.
David hasn't.
All right, well, David, what are you doing, mate? Like, answer the question. And then
David,
we've got.
If you want to come on in the next stream, we can have you.
Ricky Thompson says that's a different Ricky Thompson.
I thought so. Yeah, good. Okay.
Just happens to look exactly the same. And Ken Longfellow says, hint, get the physical records so I can put them into my OG player and sing along. I don't cut into MP3 near as much. Well, the new record will be, it's getting designed now, and we're gonna have it soon, so we'll let you know.
Yeah, that's great. Well, have we got any more comments here? Or
that's it?
That was.
Do we have any last words?
God bless us. Everyone.
Ali Burgess says, Stu, the clack not cold tonight?
Strangely warm.
Well, that is quite a weird light coming in. It's got to be something a bit paranormal about that. Almost looks like an orb behind you.
Looks bigger than an orb, Jack. But, you know, I'm not a scientist.
Oh, innocent gun, indeed.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure.
Aye.
Can't thank you all enough for joining us tonight.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed all the tunes and the videos and the chat, such as it was.
And we really do look forward to this every week, if only to get I don't know, amazed by how weird questions can get and comments can get. So,
Shall I do the big finale that we rehearsed?
Go for it.
Okay, great, folks. Well, I really do hope you have enjoyed this evening. It's been the pleasure of the Friday Night Messiah, Duncan and Jack, disciples of the Messiah,
FSM.
to host you this evening deep in the coronavirus, the dark winter that we're all experiencing. I'm afraid that the time has come for us to all part ways. But whatever you do tonight, or this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are in the world, know that, first of all, you're loved, you're cared for. Those that are close to you will always be with you. And the Gorms have a great new question. We're looking next week to answer some agony ant questions. Now, if you're outside the UK, you may not know what an agony ant is. An agony ant, well, we call it a squeaky wifey sometimes. A question that you have which is so deeply personal. For example, should I kiss the boy that I care about? Or should I deny my true feelings? My wife is sleeping with 16 men, but she claims she still loves me and only me. My husband is addicted to heroin, but his willy is so large that I'm not interested in changing. Questions such as these, we would love to have you pose to us. We get a lot of them, but I'm not going to go through the old ones. We're looking for new questions for next week to keep this thematic, exciting,
And
same sort of endeavor that you've been along for so far. So look forward to receiving your emails, your questions via Facebook, Tinder, Grindr, Bumble, Telegram, the other ones as well.
That Penguin Chat website.
Penguin Chat. You can email us at thegorms@gmail.com. Just leave your anonymous name at the bottom. Any photographs you want to add, please feel free.
And your anonymous address as well.
If you don't want the photographs to be aired, it's no problem at all. Just make it very clear, otherwise there will be. And we'd love to get round to all these questions next week. On behalf of myself, the Friday Night Messiah, and my two disciples, we're going to wish you a fond farewell. I hope you have a great weekend. And wherever you are, whoever you are, hug somebody that doesn't have coronavirus. We love you. Was that okay? Was that cut now? Is that
It
finished?
really is as simple as that, folks. We're going to say goodbye, but just before we do, Trisha D. Hall Newland says, thanks for always making our Friday night a delight. Cheers, Trisha. Cheers. Ken says, thanks for an evening. Not saying great or no, but you were here. I love you.
You were here. It happened.
I love you. Do the very least you can, slags. Cheers, Ken.
God bless, pal.
Thanks, Ken. Amy Hopkins says, what time do you start? The stream starts at 8 every Friday.
8 p.m. GMT.
Yeah.
Amy, if you're in the
which
northeast,
is also CST.
if you're in the most northeast, I'm always at a popular dog walking site. Hook us up with the emails provided.
And Eileen Mullen says, looking forward to next week already. Well,
me too,
we are too. And Ken says, aye, me too. The entire street is looking forward. And
turn it up to 11.
The very last thing is we just got Chris J. Luby. Another name that rings a bell, but I'm getting conjuring up sort of dodgy imagery. But it's he just bought our album.
Wonderful.
He bought.
Did he give us £4.20?
No, he paid £32 for our album, which is going way above and beyond, actually. So,
yeah,
thanks very much, Chris.
Cheers, Luby.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. All your support is so appreciated. We can't wait to see you all up and person. But until then, we'll see you next Friday. Have a good week. Stay safe. Look after yourselves and each other.
Bye.
Cheerio. Catch you later.